So can I count on you? One last time?
All right, kid. Let's go do it. One last time.
Welcome back to day 2. 2 more days left. I can't believe it. We're almost at the end of this horrific waiting period with all the drama with, games being stolen and people with spoilers. I'm so glad I haven't had anything spoiled for me, and I hope you guys haven't had anything spoiled for you. Let's finish up my countdown, my favorite moments from Uncharted 3. I hope you guys are a fan of these moments too. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite moments are. And let me know what your plans are for day 1. What are you going to do? How are you preparing? Are you going to, stay home from school? Are you going to stay home from work? I can't wait to play this game for you guys, and I can't wait to play it myself. I can't wait to see how the story is going to end. My favorite parts of Uncharted 3. Number 14. When Nate wakes up with Marlowe after the bad drug trip, he just, when they drugged him, we find out about Nate's history. When Marlowe has his file and she's going through his file and she's like, mother commits suicide, father gives you up to the state, which he does not say gives up children to the state. He just says gives up child to the state. And, is that your real name? So it's not his real name officially. I still think that he has like literal blood ties to famous explorers. Maybe Drake, maybe not, maybe someone else. But we find out all these things that I never thought in a million years that they would ever divulge any of Nate's past, his history, that he, like his life before Sully, and we found out about Sully. I mean, this game was a revelation of Nate, his character, his prior life. It was just amazing. I couldn't believe that they had the nerve to do it, I was so thrilled they did it. I don't mean it in like a bad way, to take a beloved character like that, where we really had no prior history, know of, anything about his prior life before he met Sully. So I was really happy to find out about that. Number 15, the whole ship battle, the whole shipyard, the ship graveyard, and the fighting when we wake up with Ramses, and we have to fight our way through all the pirates, those big ass pirates, and we have to fight our way out of there, and we open up the doors when we finally, climb out of there. And we're in this ship graveyard. And not only do we have to traverse to get down to try and get out of, we're trying to find Sully, even though we don't know yet that Sully's not even there. We still have to get out of there. And then we have to fight all those pirates. That is an epic battle, fighting from the water, fighting from up top, trying to take control of all of these enemies. It is a huge and hard battle to get through, and I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of Uncharted 3. It is so hard to play that on a hard difficulty. It's brutal, but it is so much fun. There's so many moving parts, so many things going on at once. I love finding all the hidden, the hammer gun, and there's dragon snipers and there's RPGs. There's so many weapons to use, and the machine gun, is just a lot of fun to use once you get behind it, and I love that whole scene. Then, I'm going to lump the whole ship elements, in this one, because then I could go off on 20 just on this part alone, where we're on the ship, we're fighting Ramses, we realize Sully's not there, we have to still fight our way out of there. Nate has to, he's, this whole ship is sinking, sink or swim is the name of the chapter too, and then we have to fight our way. And then Ramsey comes back and he shoots out the glass, and the whole boat, just fills with water, rushes in. We have to try and escape before this whole ship goes down and it takes us down with it. And when we're running and the water is rushing and we have to get out of there and we have to jump to escape, and we jump off the boat. And it's like we're running in slow motion. He jumps out, and then we slow motion fall into the ocean, and you see us, and and we make it. It's unbelievable. It's such an epic moment in this game. It's one of my favorite parts. It's such a brutal battling that whole time, but it's when you finally do it. When you're fighting those pirates in that one room, that ballroom with the piano, that is a tough ass fight. Especially on the harder difficulties, it can really, like, you want to pull your hair out. So it's hard. Number 17. When we finally get on land and we find Elena, not only is she, not just curled up in a little ball and worrying about, Nate, she is on the phone. She's making plans. She's going to save Sully. Like, Nate or no Nate, she's going to save Sully. That is like her father-in-law, like literally is like her, her dad, her father-in-law. And she is not going to let anything happen to him. She's going after him alone. I mean, that just says a lot about her character. And it says a lot about how brave she is. And she'll do anything for the people that she loves. And she's proven that over and over again, She's a ride or die bitch. And I mean that in a good way. She is there no matter what, whether she agrees with them or not. She is not happy about it. And she lets them know she's not happy about it. But she still is there for them. And she's amazing. She's amazing for doing that. And then they share this lovely moment where they, Nate's like apologizing to her for what he did wrong. And she knows him better, so much better than he thinks she does. So she's, they're going to do it together now, and you feel like their relationship is mended, even though it's taken some punches, that you feel like they're going to make it. The next one is where we see, when Nate has got to get on the plane and he's almost making it and he looks like he's going to miss the plane. Elena comes in and she saves him again. She gets his ass on that plane. She comes barreling through with the Jeep, and she's going to get him on that plane. Number 18. Once Nate is on that plane, that whole, like I said, there's so many elements of this part, this scene, this chapter that I love, but I'm going to group it all into this one. The jumping out of the cargo plane, when he just blows the side out of it and everybody goes out of the plane, gets sucked out of the plane. He falls out of the plane. He gets sucked out of the plane, and he is holding on for that cargo, and he is like climbing up the cargo, the grips, and he gets up there and he rips the gun out of the other guy's hand, and he's like, really, is that guy shooting at him? Like, they're hanging outside of the plane, while it's moving, and they're all gonna die, But, he grabs hold of one of the, the boxes, and he lands and he survives. He's the only survivor. So it's the iconic crash scene with the plane, and Nate's just got his, his gun over his shoulder, and he's just like, yeah, I did that, and it's like, he's just like, that is such an iconic scene. And, with him in front of like the plane in flames, and now he's got to make it. He's got to get across the Rub al Khali all by his lonesome, without any supplies. All he finds is a gun from a dead man's hand. And it's just epic, and it's iconic. And wandering through the desert, and, and you feel his sense of loneliness, even though it can be boring, like I said, because you're walking, but you get the sense of his desperation and his loneliness throughout that whole thing. Number 19 is the caravan segment, when we're with Salim and we're jumping from horse to truck and taking out enemies, and we are just, who's jumping from a truck onto the horse, backwards, forwards, sideways? It was amazing how they got that done. It reminded me of the convoy gameplay from Uncharted 2. It was like a spin-off on that, but it was even better because harder to jump on a horse. Number 20, the sandstorm fight. That fight where, the horses run off, and it's just, we lose Salim, and we're running, to try sandstorm. They can't see us coming. We can see some of them, they can't see us. And that whole fight, when we have that standoff, Sully and I, and you try and take it, Sully's like, we need an RPG. To get through that sandstorm fight is so difficult. On normal, it's difficult. But you find different ways, you find your own path to do it, and it's so satisfying when you actually do. It's just beautifully done. And I think it's one of the best levels of the game. Number 21. When we finally get to the Atlantis of the Sands. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I first saw that and the doors open up and we look out and we see the expanse of it. It's huge. It's so grand, and it's so epic, and it's so detailed. I mean, like, there's so many moving parts. It's so much going on at once, and they just did it beautifully. It was every epic thing you could have imagined, like this lost city could have been. You knew it was going to be epic, and it was so beautiful and so intricate. And I cannot believe they pulled that off. And that was just, it was worth waiting to find it, because we didn't know if we were going to find it, and it was worth the wait. Number 22, fighting the Djinn. When we finally see them and we finally have to fight those fuckers, oh my God, they are slippery. I mean, you really have, half the time we are like, we drank the water. So that's, part of the reason why we see them. But the fact that, it is so hard to kill them, to try and take them down. And every time we fight them in this chapter is just, it's difficult, but it's fun. And how they got the flames, when they're, they're on fire and they're moving and they're teleporting. It's such a difficult part of the gameplay, but it's fun. And how did they do that? It's amazing. I think how much work went into that. So that's one of my favorite parts, even though they're really annoying to fight, but it's hard fight, but it's a good fight, and it was beautifully done. Number 23. We finally get to the part where we've defeated Marlowe. She is trapped in, and she is trying to, she is going to die, and she is trying to manipulate Nate even to the end, be like Drake, and she's just trying to manipulate him with the ring, and she's just, and he's like, I've got nothing to prove. That was one of the best lines of the game, because because this whole game, his motivation was to prove to her that he's not like a straight rat, and he's this filthy little beggar, and he doesn't even have the right to touch these things, these artifacts, and that stays with him. Words really, it shaped him in a bad way, because he became so obsessed with getting over on her, and now he just tells her, I have nothing left to prove. But if I'm going to save you, it's going to save you because I'm going to save you because I'm a good person, and you're not going to hold that power over me anymore. And I'm going to prove it. Not because you're manipulating me, because I know I don't have to. I'm doing it because I can. Because you haven't changed me. And it's such a powerful scene. Even though he cannot save her, he tries. And he doesn't give up until she's under, until she's completely under, So I don't know why, why Talbot's so mad at him, because, Nate caused all this, collapse and of the whole thing. But still he tried, and he didn't have to, which you have to have so much respect for him that he did that. Number 24, the epic escape from Ubar when, after he defeats Talbot, him and Sully are running for their lives. Everything is collapsing. The sand is just taking over everything. It is destroying everything in its path, and we have to get out of there. It reminded me of, the end scene for Uncharted 2, where we're trying to, cross over the bridge. But this was that on steroids. This was everything was collapsing, and the sand is moving, and you're jumping, and it was just so many things going on at once. It was so beautiful. Again, the beautiful destruction in this game, you almost want to stop and just stare and just take it in, because it's so beautiful. But you're like, I got to get the hell out of here. I'm going to die if I don't run, so you are following Sully and you want to get out of there. Number 25, the finale, where we see Nate and Sully, and Sully's like, wait, I've got something to tell you. I guess he realized they have had too many close calls, and if he's going to come clean to Nate and tell him how he really feels about him, he's never going to get the chance. So he tells Nate, in so many words, that he's like the son he's never had. He loves him like a son. He is his family, and he's going to give him some really good advice, some really great fatherly advice. You know, greatness is, you know, it's what you do with the hand you're dealt. So it's not about the ring. It's not about if your name is really Drake or not. It's who you are inside and what you do with your life and how you live your life. And it's such an amazing, heartfelt moment. We never really saw that kind of, you know, the bond between, we know they have a huge bond, but most men, you know, like, bro, you know, I love you, bro, you know, that kind of thing. This was a true father-son moment. And he's like, you know, you better, you know, treat that girl right. You know, she's good for you and you have better be good for her, you know. Here is the ring. You better put that shit on. Now, my final favorite moment, of course, is the moment where Nate and Elena have their reunion, and he basically, you know, shows her the ring. I traded it in for something better. They embrace that, you know, they're going to have a life together and that they're going to be a team. And, you know, this isn't just like something temporary. Their marriage will stay. Whatever happened between 2 and 3, we don't know, but I can only assume Nate happened, you know, but, you know, and then the 3 of them go off together, the family, you know, that's the family, and they're going off together on the plane, and it always ends just so epically and heartfelt. And I just know that Uncharted 4 is going to, no matter what happens, like I said, we're so close to the end. The one thing I can guarantee is that it's going to be epic. It is going to be heartfelt. It is going to be funny, and it is going to be mind-blowing. So to hell with all you spoilers. You know, it doesn't matter because, like I said, I don't have no idea what's going to happen in this game, but it doesn't matter because nothing can take away the epicness of this game. So if you have heard a spoiler, I wouldn't even believe it because there's so many trolls out there. So just enjoy it. Have a great time playing this game, guys. I will do my best playing this game for you. I've had so much fun doing this series. I know we have one more day left of the series, but thanks so much for watching and sticking with me and sticking with the series. You guys are amazing. So leave me your comments and let me know how you feel about Uncharted 4 coming out. No spoilers, please. Please, no. Oh God, no. Please, no spoilers. And I will be back tomorrow for the big day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep or eat, or I'll always be able to eat. Okay, so I might not sleep. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.